Welcome to another beginner's crafting guide for Elder Scrolls Online. I'm Miss Bizz, and today I'm going to teach you all about crafting writs. First of all, what are crafting writs? Well, crafting writs are a daily quest that you can pick up, one for each type of craft in Elder Scrolls Online, and it will reward you with a couple different things. You'll get some materials, maybe you'll actually get a fully crafted item that is ornate or intricate. You will get inspiration, which is XP for your crafting skill lines. You'll get a little bit of gold, and you might even get a survey report that will reward you with a ton of raw materials. Each writ also has its own special things it can give you, such as all your equipment writs, which are clothing, woodworking, and blacksmithing. You might get a shipment of material that is for a lower level material than you can currently pick up in the open world. You can also get survey reports. Survey reports are great. They are like a little treasure map, but they are much easier to figure out, and you will get extra raw materials. They will have some fancy special nodes when you get to that spot that will give you a ton of raw materials. With the provisioning crafting writ, you may be able to actually get fragments for the Psiijic Ambrosia recipe. With all the equipment writs, clothing, blacksmithing, and woodworking, you can also possibly get glass motif fragments, which you need 10 of in order to make a glass motif page. If you're wondering about the glass motif page, you can click that eye in the top right hand corner and check out my guide on how to actually craft that together. So how do you even do crafting writs? Well, first off, you're going to have to be certified in the two different sections of crafting writs. There's equipment crafting writs that I mentioned earlier, which is woodworking, clothing, and blacksmithing. And there are consumable crafting writs, which is alchemy, enchanting, and provisioning. To start crafting writs or to even get certified, you do need to be level 6. You won't be able to do this when you are level 3, 4, or 5. So to start it off, you can actually find the equipment crafting writs board or the consumable crafting writs board and start your quest here. They'll lead you to the people who can actually certify you. You'll find these in every major city, but for the sake of certification, you'll want to do it in your starting city, which will be Vulkelgard, Davon's Watch, or Daggerfall. To get certified in all the consumable crafting writs, you'll want to talk to Danel Teleno, whose name I cannot say, and you're going to find him in a mage's guild. So head to your mage's guild and you should find him. Here is where you can start talking to him to learn crafting writs and get certified. If you are already level 10 in the crafting sections that you're looking to get certified, you can actually tell him, I'm ready for certification, and you don't need to actually do anything. Now you'll be able to go pick up crafting writs from those boards I showed you earlier. If not, you're actually going to have to ask to be certified in all these different crafts, and he's going to give you some little quests to actually go about and get some things and actually craft a couple things for him so that he knows you know what you're doing. When you are doing those quests, be careful and actually listen or read what he has to say, because some things, such as the recipe needed for the provisioning part, he actually points out is in one of the containers right next to him, so you don't need to go out in the world and hope you find it. To get certified in all of the equipment crafts so that you can do equipment crafting writs, you're going to have to head to your nearest Fighters Guild. In your nearest Fighters Guild, you will find Melenith, and she will be able to certify you automatically if you're already level 10, or she'll be able to send you on a very short quest to certify you for crafting writs, and you'll be able to pick them up. Once you are certified in the crafts that you would like to do crafting writs in, you'll need to find a crafting writ board. Here, you're just going to interact with it and pick up whatever writs you want. It's going to tell you to make a couple different things, and you just go ahead and craft those items. When you are crafting items for crafting writs, remember that they're just going to tell you what material these items need to be made of. You can make the lowest level of that material type. So even though I need to make Ancestor Silk breeches for my crafting writ, I can make Champion Point 150 that only use 14 of my material, instead of Champion Point 160 that would use 140 of my material. It also does not matter what style you craft the item in. Another note is do not put a trait on the item because then it will not be accepted for the crafting writ quest. As well, if you're doing your enchanting crafting writ, make sure you use a taw so that you get a white glyph, because you need to hand in a white glyph for this quest. Once you've crafted all the items, you're going to have to hand them in somewhere. So in all the major cities, you're going to see a little area somewhat like this with a lot of boxes around. And this is where you will deliver the items that you did for your crafting writ. So how do you know where to go? Because as you can see, I'm actually in Craiglorn right now. Well, it depends on the level of your craft. Here you can see that my tailoring is 10 out of 10. So for 9 out of 10 and 10 out of 10, you need to go to Craiglorn to hand in your crafting writs. But you can actually pick them up in any major city. If you are only tailoring 1 out of 10, it's going to ask you to head to Volkagard, Davin-Swatch, or Glenumbra and Daggerfall to hand in your crafting writ. Every time you go up a tier, so when you put a skill point in, it's going to ask you to go to the capital of the next major zone. It will also tell you this in your quest journal. Here you can see that it tells me to go to Belkarth. And you can always show it on your map by pressing M if you're on PC. Here I'm going to hand in my clothier writ and see what we get here. You'll see that I got 20,000 inspiration. Of course, this scales with what level of crafting writ you're actually doing. I'm max level, so that inspiration kind of just goes to waste, but it will help you as you're leveling up your crafting. I also got 664 gold. Keep in mind I am a ESO Plus member, so that's 10% more than if you do not have a subscription. Here I'm going to open up the container that I actually got my rewards in. You'll see that I got a gold tannin or a temper. This is an upgrade material. Your chances are pretty good for getting them in your little reward crates. It is better than getting them through your hirelings. I also got a repair kit and a shipment of spider silk cloth. Because I am max level and my crafting is max level, I can't actually pick up spider silk cloth, so occasionally you're going to get a shipment of older materials. If you do not get a shipment of older materials, you're actually going to get a survey report. This is what a survey report is going to look like, and they can send you to any zone in the world. When you use it, you'll see it's kind of a treasure map idea, but it's a lot easier to read than actual treasure maps. If I head to that area, there's going to be an abundance of wood for me to actually take. Keep in mind that all the materials that you get from a survey is going to scale to the character's crafting level that you're on. So if I go get this woodworker survey on Lovia here, who's max level, I'm going to get max level materials for the woodworking craft. If I give it to my level 5 character who does not know any crafting, well, that person is actually going to pick up a whole bunch of the lowest level material. So it scales to whoever is actually getting the items when they have the survey report in their inventory. You can bank survey reports and they do stack. Some things to note about the consumable crafting writs is that specifically to the provisioning writ, you may be able to find the fragments of the Psiijic Ambrosia recipe. As well, you will actually get random recipes and purple items from your writ. You also will never get a survey report from your provisioning writ. With the alchemy and the enchanting crafting writs, you may get survey reports or you may not. Unfortunately, unlike the equipment writs, you won't get a shipment of old materials. It's just you either get a survey or you don't. So to sum it all up, crafting writs are a daily quest you can do in ESO. They reset every 20 hours. There are equipment writs and there are consumable writs. Of course, there's one for each actual craft. You can get all sorts of things from them, some specific to crafting writs like the Psiijic Ambrosia recipe or of course the glass motif fragments. You can get a ton of materials. It also helps level up your crafting and puts a little bit of gold in your pocket. To hand in your crafting writ, it's going to depend on how many skill points you have in the top passive for that craft. So make sure to check your journal when you receive a new crafting writ where you actually recently put a skill point in so that you know where to go drop off the goods. If you have any questions about crafting writs, please leave a comment below. I will definitely try to get to your questions as soon as possible. And if you have any questions about general crafting, be sure to check out my entire Beginner's Guide to Elder Scrolls Online Crafting playlist. I'm Miss Bizz. Thanks for tuning in, and bye for now.